is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi writes letter to countrymen to mark first anniversary of his second term, reiterates country's resolve to combat COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister exudes confidence to set an example in economic revival, reiterates self-reliant India is the only way to do it. PM Kisan Samman Nidhi now includes all farmers, says Mr. Modi. More than 72,000 crore rupees deposited in accounts of over 9.5 crore farmers in just 1 year. Prime Minister to address the nation in Mann Ki Baat program tomorrow. Railways Minister Piyush Goyal says zero passenger casualty in last 1 year, all unmanned level crossings in the country eliminated. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 47.40%. In Jammu and Kashmir, security forces kill 2 terrorists in South Kashmir's Kulgam district. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written a letter to the citizens of India to mark the first anniversary of his second term in office. In the letter, the Prime Minister has highlighted the achievements of his government and also reiterated the country's resolve in combating the COVID-19 pandemic.
देशवासियों की आशाओं आकांक्षाओं की पूर्ति करते हुए हम तेज गति से आगे बढ़ ही रहे थे कि कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी ने भारत को भी घेर लिया। एक और जहां अत्याधुनिक स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं और विशाल अर्थव्यवस्था वाली विश्व की बड़ी बड़ी महाशक्तियां हैं, वहीं दूसरी ओर इतनी बड़ी आबादी और अनेक चुनौतियों से घिरा हमारा भारत है। कई लोगों ने आशंका जताई थी कि जब कोरोना भारत पर हमला करेगा तो भारत पूरी दुनिया के लिए संकट बन जाएगा, लेकिन आज सभी देशवासियों ने भारत को देखने का नजरिया बदलकर रख दिया है।
The Prime Minister said they have proven that the collective strength and potential of Indians is unparalleled compared even to the powerful and prosperous countries of the world.
आपने ये सिद्ध करके दिखाया है कि विश्व के सामर्थ्यवान और संपन्न देशों की तुलना में भी भारतवासियों का सामूहिक सामर्थ्य और क्षमता अभूतपूर्व है। ताली थाली बजाने और दिया जलाने से लेकर भारत की सेनाओं द्वारा कोरोना वॉरियर्स का सम्मान हो, जनता कर्फ्यू या देशव्यापी लॉकडाउन के दौरान नियमों का निष्ठा से पालन हो, हर अवसर पर आपने ये दिखाया है कि एक भारत ही श्रेष्ठ भारत की गारंटी है।
The Prime Minister said in a crisis of this magnitude, it can certainly not be claimed that no one suffered any inconvenience or discomfort. Our labourers, migrant workers, artisans and craftsmen in small-scale industries, hawkers and such fellow countrymen have undergone tremendous suffering. He said we are working in a united and determined way to alleviate their troubles. Mr. Modi said we have to, however, take care to ensure that inconvenience that we are facing do not turn into disasters.
इसके लिए प्रत्येक भारतीय के लिए प्रत्येक दिशा निर्देश का पालन करना बहुत आवश्यक है। जैसे अभी तक हमने धैर्य और जीवटता को बनाए रखा है, वैसे ही उसे आगे भी बनाए रखना है। एक बड़ा कारण है कि भारत आज अन्य देशों की तुलना में ज्यादा संभली हुई स्थिति में है। ये लड़ाई लंबी है, लेकिन हम विजय पथ पर चल पड़े हैं और विजयी होना हम सबका सामूहिक संकल्प है।
In his letter, the Prime Minister mentioned that at such a time there is also a widespread debate on how the economies of various countries, including India's, will recover. However, given the way India has surprised the world with its unity and resolve in the fight against coronavirus, there is a firm belief that we will also set an example in economic revival. He said in the economic domain, through their strength, 130 crore Indians can not only surprise the world but also inspire it. Mr. Modi stressed that it is the need of the hour that we must become self-reliant and added that we have to move forward based on our own abilities, in our own way, and there is only one way to do it, Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India. He said the recent 20 lakh crore rupees package given for Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan is a major step in this direction.
आज समय की मांग है कि हमें अपने पैरों पर खड़ा होना ही होगा, अपने बलबूते पर चलना ही होगा और इसके लिए एक ही मार्ग है, आत्मनिर्भर भारत। अभी हाल में आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान के लिए दिया गया 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए का पैकेज इसी दिशा में उठाया गया एक बड़ा कदम है। यह अभियान हर एक देशवासी के लिए, हमारे किसान, हमारे श्रमिक, हमारे लघु उद्यमी, हमारे स्टार्टअप से जुड़े नौजवान, सभी के लिए नए अवसरों का दौर लेकर आएगा। भारतीयों के पसीने से, परिश्रम से और उनकी प्रतिभा से बने लोकल उत्पादों के दम पर भारत आयात पर अपनी निर्भरता कम करेगा और आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर आगे बढ़ेगा।
The Prime Minister said in the last 1 year some of the decisions were widely discussed and remain etched in public discourse. He said abrogation of Article 370 furthered the spirit of national unity and integration. He said the Ram Mandir judgment delivered unanimously by the Supreme Court of India brought an amicable end to a debate persisting for centuries, while the barbaric practice of triple talaq has been confined to the dustbin of history. He said amendment to the Citizenship Act was an expression of India's compassion and spirit of inclusiveness.
एक के बाद एक हुए इन ऐतिहासिक निर्णयों के बीच अनेक फैसले, अनेक बदलाव ऐसे भी हैं जिन्होंने भारत की विकास यात्रा को नई गति दी है, नए लक्ष्य दिए हैं, लोगों की अपेक्षाओं को पूरा किया है। चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ के पद के गठन ने जहां सेनाओं में समन्वय को बढ़ाया है, वहीं मिशन गगनयान के लिए भी भारत ने अपनी तैयारियां तेज कर दी है।
The Prime Minister said empowering the poor, the farmers, women and youth has remained his government's priority. He said PM Kisan Samman Nidhi now includes all farmers and in just 1 year more than 72,000 crore rupees has been deposited in the accounts of over 9 crore 50 lakh farmers. On the other hand, the Jal Jeevan Mission will ensure supply of potable drinking water through piped connections to over 15 crore rural households. He said a huge campaign of free vaccination is being conducted for better health of our 50 crore livestock.
देश के इतिहास में यह भी पहली बार हुआ है जब किसान, खेत मजदूर, छोटे दुकानदार, छोटे व्यापारी और असंगठित क्षेत्र के श्रमिक साथियों सभी के लिए 60 वर्ष की आयु के बाद 3,000 रुपये की नियमित मासिक पेंशन की सुविधा सुनिश्चित हुई है। मछुआरों की सहूलियत बढ़ाने के लिए, उनको मिलने वाली सुविधाएं बढ़ाने और ब्लू इकोनॉमी को मजबूत करने के लिए विशेष योजनाओं के साथ साथ अलग से विभाग भी बनाया गया है। इसी तरह व्यापारियों की समस्याओं के समय पर समाधान के लिए व्यापारी कल्याण बोर्ड के निर्माण का निर्णय लिया गया है।
The Prime Minister said back in 2014 the people of the country voted for a substantive transformation. In the last 5 years, the nation saw how the administrative apparatus broke itself free of the status quo and from the swamp of corruption as well as misgovernance. He said true to the spirit of Antyodaya, the lives of millions have been transformed.
उस कार्यकाल में जहां विश्व में भारत की आन बान शान बढ़ी, वहीं हमारे गरीबों के बैंक खाते खोलकर, उन्हें मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन देकर, मुफ्त बिजली कनेक्शन देकर, शौचालय बनवाकर, घर बनवाकर गरीब की गरिमा भी बढ़ाई। उस कार्यकाल में जहां सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक हुई, एयर स्ट्राइक हुई, वहीं हमने 1 रैंक 1 पेंशन, 1 नेशन 1 टैक्स, जीएसटी, किसानों की एमएसपी की बरसों पुरानी मांगों को भी पूरा करने का काम किया। वह कार्यकाल देश की अनेकों आवश्यकताओं की पूर्ति के लिए समर्पित रहा।
The Prime Minister said in 2019 the people of the country voted not merely for continuity but also with a dream of taking India to new heights and a dream of making India a global leader. He said the decisions taken in the last 1 year are directed at fulfilling this dream. In the letter, Mr. Modi mentioned that today 130 crore people feel involved and integrated in the development trajectory of the nation. The light of Jan Shakti and Rashtra Shakti has ignited the entire nation. He said, powered by the mantra of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, India is marching forward in all spheres. The Prime Minister said in this journey of the last 6 years, the people of the country have continuously showered him with love and blessings.
देश पिछले 1 साल में ऐतिहासिक निर्णयों और विकास की अभूतपूर्व गति के साथ आगे बढ़ा है, लेकिन फिर भी मुझे पता है कि अब भी बहुत कुछ करना बाकी है। देश के सामने चुनौतियां अनेक हैं, समस्याएं अनेक हैं। मैं दिन रात प्रयास कर रहा हूं। मुझ में कमी हो सकती है, लेकिन देश में कोई कमी नहीं है और इसलिए मेरा विश्वास स्वयं से ज्यादा आप पर है। आपकी शक्ति, आपके सामर्थ्य पर है। मेरे संकल्प की ऊर्जा आप ही है। आपका समर्थन, आपका आशीर्वाद, आपका स्नेह ही है।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken the timely decision to impose lockdown in the country to fight with the coronavirus pandemic. He said steps like transferring of money to the bank accounts and providing free food grains proved beneficial for the farmers and workers who are facing hardship in this difficult situation. He added the decision like giving rights to the farmers to sell their produce anywhere in the country, one ration card for the workers, and changing the definition of MSME will prove to be a milestone in the upcoming decades. Home Minister Amit Shah has congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the successful completion of 1 year of his second term in office. In a series of tweets, Mr. Shah expressed his firm belief that under his visionary and decisive leadership, the country will continue to progress. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that through self-dependent India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has laid the foundation of the future of the nation.
गरीब को आवाज मिला, सामाजिक न्याय मिला और युवाओं को रोजगार के अवसर मिले। ऐसे में पिछले एक साल में बड़े बड़े फैसले हुए और आर्थिक क्षेत्र में सबसे कम कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स वाला देश बनना, बहुत सुधार हुए। अभी देश कोविड के संकट से जूझ रहा है। हमारे पास कोई तैयारी नहीं थी, न मास्क बनता था, न वेंटिलेटर बनते थे। आज सभी बनने लगे। मेक इन इंडिया का आविष्कार 4 महीने में हो गया और आज देश आत्मनिर्भर होकर आज कोरोना से लड़ रहा है और देश के जनता के सहयोग से हम कोरोना को मात देंगे, ये मुझे विश्वास है।
Indian Railways has turned out to be the lifeline of the country in true terms. The nation witnessed 0 passenger casualty in rail mishaps during 2019-20. Railways and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has penned down the achievements of Indian Railways on completion of 1 year of the second term of the Narendra Modi government. He has informed that last year has been remarkable for railways, both in terms of safety and performance. Commenting on commerce and industry, Mr. Goyal informed that the government took several steps to promote exports as well as protect the interests of domestic industries. More details from our correspondent.
All unmanned level crossings were eliminated in the country, whereas 1,274 manned crossings were also removed. Commissioning of new line, doubling and gauge conversion increased to 2,226 kilometers in the year 2019-20. Mr. Goyal informed that this was nearly 50% more than the average annual commissioning achieved during 2009 till 2014. He informed that the punctuality of trains has also improved significantly by nearly 10% over the last year. Mr. Goyal said that even during the testing times of COVID-19, Indian Railways ensured uninterrupted and round-the-clock freight operations of essential commodities. He also highlighted the operationalization of Shramik special trains, which have carried more than 50 lakh migrant workers to their home states. Mr. Goyal also cited the innovative steps through which Railways created COVID care centers in its coaches with facility of more than 3 lakh beds. Speaking about the steps taken in the commerce sector, he highlighted Prime Minister's historical decision to abstain from joining RCEP, a decision which will help the domestic workers and small and medium enterprises in the country. Mr. Goyal said India is also engaging to resolve all outstanding issues with countries like USA, South Korea and Japan to boost exports. He said that with an objective of reducing excessive dependence on non-essential imports, duty was increased on 89 items and restrictions were imposed on 13 items, which benefited lakhs of domestic workers. He also mentioned how the reforms introduced by Narendra Modi government has catapulted India's ranking in terms of ease of doing business. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's policies have bridged the development gap of the last 60 years in just 6 years of his tenure as Prime Minister of the country. BJP President JP Nadda highlighted the achievements of the Modi government today at a press conference to mark the first anniversary of the second term of the NDA government. Mr. Nadda underscored how it has been a year of accomplishments. He said the government handled the unprecedented challenges, including that of the corona pandemic, in a very bold manner.
मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में 6 साल में भारत स्वावलंबी हुआ, आत्मनिर्भर भारत और आत्मसम्मान के साथ भारत की छवि दुनिया में बनी है। हम यह भी जानते हैं कि पिछले 6 वर्षों में जो 7 दशक का गैप था, उस गैप को 6 सालों में पूरा करने का प्रयास हुआ। आज हम जब 1 साल पूरा कर रहे हैं तो हम ही नहीं, सारा विश्व कोरोना के साये में जी रहा है। और यह स्थिति कोरोना की दृष्टि से देखी जाए तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि अन्य देशों के मुकाबले कोरोना की लड़ाई एक इस तरीके से लड़ी जिसमें भारत की स्थिति संभली हुई रही और बहुत हद तक उसको संभाल के रखा गया है।
Our correspondent takes a look at significant steps and welfare measures taken by the NDA government in the last 1 year.
The abrogation of Article 370 and 35A from Jammu and Kashmir, paving the way and expediting the construction of Ram Temple, banning triple talaq to provide justice to Muslim women, and enactment of Citizen Amendment Act are among the major historic decisions of the Narendra Modi government during this period. The extension of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi to all the farmers in the country, providing 6,000 rupees per year, pension for small and marginal farmers as well as for small traders are also the significant highlights. During this period, the government has also created a new Jal Shakti ministry. The decisive leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given new direction to country's foreign and defense policies, which have changed the world view toward India. The government has reformed the higher defense management by creating the post of Chief of Defense Staff to facilitate optimal utilization of resources and promote jointness among the three services. The country's economy was kept strong despite global slowdown during this tenure. Above all, the government action during this COVID-19 pandemic to check the spread of infection along with protecting the interest of all sections of the society have been remarkable. From the announcement of 20 lakh crore rupees package to food grains and financial benefit for poor, migrant and women and their health care, every step has shown the resolve of government to work for the welfare of all countrymen. With Diwakar Bhupen Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi writes letter to countrymen to mark first anniversary of his second term, reiterates country's resolve to combat COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister exudes confidence to set an example in economic revival, reiterates self-reliant India is the only way to do it. PM Kisan Samman Nidhi now includes all farmers, says Mr. Modi. More than 72,000 crore rupees deposited in accounts of over 9.5 crore farmers in just 1 year. Prime Minister to address the nation in Mann Ki Baat program tomorrow. Railways Minister Piyush Goyal says zero passenger casualty in the last 1 year. All unmanned level crossings in the country eliminated. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 47.40%. And in Jammu and Kashmir, security forces killed 2 terrorists in South Kashmir's Kulgam district. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. tomorrow. It will be the 65th episode of the monthly radio program. It will be broadcast in the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and on AIR News website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR mobile app. It will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of AIR, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will also be repeated at 8 in the evening.
The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said a total 82,370 people affected with coronavirus have been cured and the recovery rate has reached 47.40% in the country. To the last 24 hours, 11,264 people have recovered and 7,964 fresh cases of COVID-19 have been reported, taking the total number of cases to 1,73,763. This is the highest spike in fresh cases in one day since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in India. The Health Ministry said 265 deaths have been registered in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide toll to 4,971. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said a total of 1,27,761 samples were tested for coronavirus in the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of tests reached to 36,11,599 in the country. Meanwhile, ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. As of now, total 662 laboratories across India have been given approval to conduct the test for COVID-19, including 462 government laboratories and 200 private laboratory chains.
With the exhibition and handicraft industry hit hard due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, many individuals and organizations are offering a helping hand to small artisans to save their livelihood. Jalpa Thakkar, who runs an art and craft business in Surat, is selling masks with Madhubani paintings to offer monetary support to migrant artisans who returned to Bihar from Gujarat during the lockdown. A report.
Jalpa Thakkar is working with 3 to 4 migrant families of artisans who have gone to their home state Bihar during the lockdown. Talking to AIR, Ms. Jalpa said that during the pandemic, when wearing of mask is mandatory, she thought to use this opportunity to offer an employment to the small artisans. Each mask costs ₹150 and the income generated through the sale of these masks is being transferred to their bank account.
इस लॉकडाउन के समय में काफी ऐसे सूरत के आर्टिस्ट हैं जिन्हें काम नहीं मिलने की वजह से वो अपने गांव बिहार वापस चले गए हैं। उनका रोजगार बना रहे इस पर्पज से हमने उनको मास्क बनाने के लिए ऑर्डर किया हुआ है। बिहार की जो मधुबनी आर्ट है उसके मास्क बना रहे हैं और काफी लोग उसे पसंद भी कर रहे हैं। हमें 3 से 4 बड़े ऑर्डर्स भी मिले हुए हैं। जो भी इनकम जनरेट हो रही है मास्क बेचने से वो हम उनके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं। 3 से 4 फैमिली अभी फिलहाल हैं जिन्हें हम सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। एक आर्टिस्ट करीबन 30 से 40 मास्क बना रहे हैं पर डे।
Jalpa Thakkar is not only helping the artisans to earn during the lockdown, but also contributing to the conservation of local Indian art. With Lopa Darbar from Surat, this is Aparna Khud, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Maharashtra, 2,692 new patients have been found positive, leading to a surge in cases to 33,124 active cases in the state. 116 deaths were registered, taking the death toll of the state to 2,098 due to the infection. The total number of COVID-19 cases till date is 62,228 in Maharashtra. 8,381 patients were discharged yesterday, taking the tally of recovered patients to 26,997 till date. The recovery rate of the state has improved and it stands at 43.38%, while the mortality rate is 3.37%. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Maharashtra state government has taken an important decision to ban the consumption, spitting and smoking of tobacco products in public places throughout the state. While interacting through Facebook Live, Health Minister Rajesh Tope said that spitting in public places spreads many infections and deadly diseases. More to add, it has been observed that coronavirus infection is transmitted through saliva. Therefore, state government has taken this decision to ban the consumption of tobacco products in public places. Violation of this ban will attract fines worth ₹1,000 to 5,000 or public service for 1 to 5 days. The Health Minister have appealed people not to spit or smoke in public places and take utmost care for prevention of coronavirus spread. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Madhya Pradesh, the state government has launched a unique scheme, Rozgar Setu, to provide employment to labourers. Under this scheme, labourers will be provided employment in industries, construction works and other activities according to their skills. Madhya Pradesh is the first state to launch such a scheme to harness the work efficiency of the labourers.
Under the Rozgar Setu scheme, survey work of skilled migrant labourers have been started in every Gram Panchayat. The skills and other related information of migrant labourers are being compiled during the survey. On the other hand, information is being sought from industries, factories and other employment providers about their needs. In this way, the Rozgar Setu will be reliable means of providing work to the labourers according to their skills. Also, skilled labourers will get employment easily in industries, construction works and other activities. Meanwhile, Additional Chief Secretary and State Control Room in charge ICP Kesri has informed that till date 132 Shramik special trains have arrived in Madhya Pradesh from various states. 8 more trains are expected. So far, about 5,69,000 labourers have been brought back to the state. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, security forces killed 2 terrorists at Wampora and Khudwani area of South Kashmir's Kulgam district in the wee hours today. Defence Public Relations Officer PRO Srinagar Colonel Rajesh Kalia said that a joint team of Kulgam Police, 1 Rushed Rifles and CRPF launched a cordon and search operation in Wampora village yesterday evening after getting a specific input about the presence of terrorists there. Government has denied reports that 50 healthcare staff at AIIMS tested COVID positive as masks and PPEs don't meet standard. In a tweet, Press Information Bureau termed it as incorrect. It said the masks and PPEs meet Health Ministry standards and evaluated the certifications verified by AIIMS committee. The PIB said 95% positive cases did not have any evidence of transmission from patient care.
News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program held a special discussion program on COVID-19. Participating in the program, senior medical expert Dr. Prasoon Chatterjee said early lockdown is the reason for better recovery rate in the country.
This is the positive effect of lockdown you can say कि वायरस को एक जगह पे कंटेन किया गया. आप जब कोई भी एक जगह को कंटेन करते हो और उस जगह के ऊपर ध्यान रखते हो तो कोई भी अनटूवर्ड इफेक्ट होती है तो वो मेडिकल हेल्थ सिस्टम के नजर में आती है. Then definitely the chances of recovery is more.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Head of Respiratory Care Department in the National Institute of Tuberculosis and Respiratory Diseases, Dr. Rajneesh Gupta, said that everybody should stay at home during the lockdown period. To stay safe, and special care should be taken of senior citizens.
जो भी उनकी मेडिकल इलनेसेस हैं, कोमॉर्बिडिटीज हैं, उनको हाइपरटेंशन है, जिनको शुगर की प्रॉब्लम है, दे शुड टेक देयर यूजुअल मेडिकेशंस, दे शुड स्टे एट होम. स्पेशली जो उनके अटेंडेंस है, उनको ये ध्यान रखना है कि दे शुड स्टे एट होम और उनको बाहर नहीं जाना है.
Participating in All India Radio News program Samvad, a senior official from the railways said that more than 52 lakh migrant passengers have reached their destination using Shramik special trains.
हम लगातार श्रमिक स्पेशल ट्रेन चला रहे हैं और 52 लाख लोगों को हमने गंतव्य तक पहुंचाया है. श्रमिक लोगों के बेहतरी के लिए जो भी प्रयास हमको करना पड़ेगा हम करेंगे. हम लोग लगातार स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से बातचीत करके ये ट्रेन चला रहे हैं. एक समय था जब हमने 280 तक प्रतिदिन ट्रेन चलाई हैं. अभी थोड़ी रिक्वायरमेंट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से आने कम हो गई है. हम सबको आश्वस्त करना चाहते हैं कि जब तक एक भी श्रमिक को जरूरत है श्रमिक स्पेशल ट्रेन की और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आगे आते हैं इसके लिए, भारतीय रेल ये ट्रेन चलाना जारी रखेगा.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring a special discussion program on COVID-19. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1-800-11-5767. I repeat, 1-800-11-5767. One can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444. I repeat, 011-2331-4444, and post queries on a Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day today. In New Delhi, the minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 37 degrees Celsius. The national capital is likely to experience thunderstorm with rain. Mumbai is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature in the metropolis was 28 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 34 degrees Celsius. Chennai will see a partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 37 degrees. Srinagar minimum temperature was 11 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 24 degrees Celsius. The city will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 15 and 32 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, sky is likely to be generally cloudy. There is also possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. And now, before we close the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi writes letter to countrymen to mark first anniversary of his second term, reiterates country's resolve to combat COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister exudes confidence to set an example in economic revival, reiterates self-reliant India is the only way to do it. PM Kisan Samman Nidhi now includes all farmers, says Mr. Modi. More than 72,000 crore rupees deposited in accounts of over 9.5 crore farmers in just 1 year. Prime Minister to address nation in Mann Ki Baat program tomorrow. Railways Minister Piyush Goyal says zero passenger casualty in last 1 year. All unmanned level crossings in the country eliminated. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 47.40%. And with that, we end the midday news.